Get full episodes of The Damage Report as a podcast on iTunes and Android, and you can watch the live show every weekday on YouTube TV. The halls of Washington, D.C. got a little bit exciting this morning, and thankfully we're now joined by Emma Vigeland to explain exactly what happened. Emma, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, John.
Always glad to have you here, especially when you're involved in breaking news like this. So a protest erupted outside Nancy Pelosi's office. What was it about?
It was about climate change action. I got word last night that I had to head down to D.C. stat. So this was going to be a really big deal. And Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was going to be involved. Rashida Tlaib also getting less press about this, but I saw her do a really emotional speech about the impact of environmental racism on her home state of Michigan. She's obviously a U.S. representative-elect, just like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So protesters had a sit-in at Nancy Pelosi's office, and it begun with them handing Pelosi's secretary letters one by one demanding climate action and saying why climate change was going to affect them, who they were fighting for by protesting. And it ended with arrests of multiple people where a lot of them were, taken away in zip ties, the pretty standard way that Capitol Police get rid of protesters.
So I saw your live interview with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, right? We're seeing some of the B-roll right there. I'm assuming that she was not arrested, but did Nancy Pelosi actually come out while you were there, or was it just hands off, send in the police to cart people out?
No, Nancy Pelosi did not come out. I'm not even sure if she was there. If she was, I would have bum rushed the other reporters to get an interview with her because I just have so many questions and opinions. But no, she was not there. It was just her staff and many, many protesters. I was shocked at how many there were and how effectively they kept it under wraps. We were really the first media to know about it, I believe. And then as word got out that AOC was going to show up, a CNN reporter showed up. I saw Brianna Greyjoy, a fantastic reporter from The Intercept there. So the word got out that it was a big deal. And I'm really lucky that I was able to get there and able to speak to my old buddy, Alexandria.
Yeah. So I assume I'm not a Michael Shore level political historian, but I'm assuming that congresswomen-elect don't generally protest the potential speaker's office as the first time they visit that office. Did there seem, when you talked to her, was there any fear of repercussions or strike back or anything like that?
Yeah, by the way, that was my reaction too, John. I was like, oh, they're gonna be sitting down together, right? When I first heard about this, Pelosi and Alexandria, and they're gonna have a nice discussion with the protesters. No, Alexandria or Alex was, a part of the protest in a sense. Most of the protesting happened. She showed up, kind of gave a pep talk, a nice speech to the protesters, and then she spoke to media and left. So it's not like she was there to get arrested. But yeah, I think she is being as confrontational to the establishment as we can reasonably expect of a representative. She still has to work with Nancy Pelosi at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing on Twitter oh, she's getting too cozy with the establishment. Now she's praising Pelosi in some ways. Are you going to treat your coworkers with blatant disrespect and still expect to get anything done? She is being as confrontational and aggressive towards the established order that she can feasibly be as a representative-elect from New York.
Hey, Emma, it's Francesca here. I just had a question. Yeah, so can you tell us more about the Sunrise Movement, and also what are they specifically demanding of Nancy Pelosi?
So Sunrise, which I kept accidentally calling Sunshine because I had 4 hours of sleep, they, are a large environmental group. I recently, or not completely recently, but I covered an action of theirs with which Cynthia Nixon took a part in up in Albany. And that was, them calling on a Democrat again, Andrew Cuomo, to be more aggressive on climate change, where he has been, going back on his promises on fracking, et cetera. But their main goal was to be 100%, for the United States to be 100% renewable by 2030, and they were demanding that of Nancy Pelosi. This is based on the United Nations report that said we have very little time to curb the effects of climate change, and there could be cataclysmic consequences. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's platform, when she was running for Congress, wanted 100% renewable by 2035. So this is even further to the left of Alexandria. In hindsight, I should have asked her if she would update her platform based on the UN report. But yeah, that's really what they were asking: 100% renewable by 2030, and also a Green New Deal, which is investment in the economy so that we can jumpstart clean energy jobs, and the United States can be at the forefront of renewable energy, because right now we're lagging significantly and it's hurting our economy.
Yeah, I saw that Sunrise throughout that protest is focusing on the benefits of doing this, and it's not just a cost on the economy, but it's an opportunity as well. I wanted to ask you about Pelosi, because I saw that after the protest, she put out a statement. Sam Stein on Twitter she said, "I have recommended to my House Democratic colleagues that we reinstate the Select Committee to address the climate crisis." So she had previously done something like this a decade ago. She's very proud of her record on climate change. You know, she had previously had that vote on the I believe, yeah, the carbon tax. So look, if she thinks that a decade ago she was pretty to the left on this issue, and now the stakes are even higher. I mean, I don't know if you know, Emma, but we're burning right now. Our entire studio is on fire, effectively. How much can we expect out of Nancy Pelosi now with a more progressive House majority, and the stakes obviously being higher?
It's so hard to know what to expect from her, except not to expect much, to be honest with you. I think that a lot of her job is political calculation. How is this going to look? How can I keep the caucus together, et cetera? But what I want from a Speaker of the House, and what I can't speak for you guys, but what I think you want, is someone who's going to lead on these issues, not just be afraid that the blue dog Democrats aren't going to get on board with you. The Democrats, when I look on the DNC website, just say, we want to continue the progress Obama made on climate change, but there's no concrete actual goals for what they want to do. There needs to be a timeline. We need to act now. And that's what the Speaker of the House should be doing if she fully grasped the severity of the issue and wasn't just more concerned about some sort of political game.
Yeah.
And she's been in Washington for a while. That's a lot of the time, that's what they care about.
Yeah, I want to talk, I know this is a little bit outside of the sort of topic of the conversation, but the confrontation, to the extent that it was one, between AOC and Nancy Pelosi today exists in the context of a potential battle over who will actually be the speaker. And I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but I mean, Nancy Pelosi can only have so many defections from supporting her. And I know a lot of people support Barbara Lee. As you're talking with these politicians, does it seem like there's going to be a significant battle?
No, I think Nancy Pelosi is going to be the Speaker of the House, and I don't think it's going to be super tough for her to regain that control. She calls herself a master legislator. Who thinks that should get their head examined. But Barbara Lee is running for party caucus chair, and she has a lot of momentum behind that. I think that that's setting her up. I mean, she's older, but that sets her up for being Speaker of the House down the line. Once she gets that leadership role. Barbara Lee is one of the greatest progressives in the country and one of the true servants of the people that we have left in the United States Congress. So I would be more than thrilled to see her in leadership, and eventually, hopefully, Speaker of the House.
Yeah, I get that strategy. It feels to me like if Nancy Pelosi gets it, she's not giving it up, and it's not like maybe there will be a primary or something. It's not like she's really going anywhere. I think the next person that's going to get it is going to be like House Speaker Louis Gohmert if the Republicans retake the House.
But like, how crazy is it? Sorry, John, to interrupt you, but Nancy Pelosi's approval rating is atrocious. It's not politically expedient for the Democrats to have her as Speaker of the House, but because they're all friends, it's just like, well, we'll go with her again.
Yeah.
She's toxic politically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could think of a few examples that I would probably prefer. In any event, I wish we had more time, Emma, but we do have to go. Thank you so much both for your work this morning and then for joining us to break it down.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.
Bye, Francesca.
Bye.
Thank you very much for watching this clip from the Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.